Alright, y'all, I'm recording this as kind of a catch-up because at this point we have figured out a way to make the recordings listenable. So if you wanted to just listen from here, it might be a good idea. In fact, I'll put that on the thumbnail. But go back for now, listen to episode 0, that's important. That will get you all the information you need about the world to catch you up to this catch-up. And then from here you can go on and listen to episode 6 and onward after this. So, since episode 0, we created a jail wagon in which to house the Big Elden Gang so we can transport them over to Brightfield, which we did over the course of about a week round trip to get them over to the hangmen who gave them their righteous just desserts. And while we were in Brightfield, we also ended up getting the sheriff over to a smith to order a new sheriff's badge as well as a cool staff for himself, which is going to be sent over to us in Mayfield in about a week's time. Heading back to Mayfield, we discovered that the Warforged that had been gathering in Old Pete's farm had actually unearthed a dungeon. Yes, in this world, dungeons are occasionally unearthed, and when they are unearthed, they shoot big beam in sky, this time blue beam in sky, to let everybody around know that a dungeon has in fact been discovered, whereupon the Adventurers Guild shows up into our our small little town of Mayfield, shaking things up, not to the sheriff's liking. It was our goal to get all these adventurers out of there ASAP, and we decided to do so by becoming an adventurers group ourselves. We are indeed a official party, having paid our 500 gold party dues. We were allowed to try to puzzle out the entry to the door with the other adventuring parties. We actually were the ones to figure it out, having touched a certain piece of the door, gotten visions. We were sent by these visions out to the west to collect a stone disc that was under the care or protection of a Wendigo, which we had to kill, get rid of, and bring back the stone key that would allow us to be the very first bidders on this dungeon. It being our first dungeon and us kind of miscommunicating with each other, we ended up bidding 1,700 gold, which was far more than any other adventurers group was ever going to bid. Of course, we only had half of that. You're allowed to bid half of your actual bid, with the rest to be paid later, with the spoils of the dungeons that you win. This is how dungeons work in this world. So we bid, and we won the right to go into the dungeon, but we owed the Adventurers Guild an additional 850 gold out of our own pockets, which we did not have to pay. However, luckily, we entered that dungeon and found enough goods to cover the cost, as well as a few other very valuable things, some scrolls. You'll find out more about those, including a weird onyx crescent gold thing about this big. And at the end of the last episode, there was a stranger smoking a cigarette wandering around town. Unseen by us, but they're there. And that should catch you up to exactly where we are now. So, again, listen to episode 0. You've already listened to this. Now you can feel free to feel very confident and ready to head into episode 6 of Elloria.